One Piece is without a doubt one of the biggest comic book franchises ever created. It received an anime adaptation in 1999 that is running to this day, and recently ended its much-awaited Wano arc. Now, being over 1,000 episodes in, the story is at its Egghead arc, and today we're going to break down episode 1089 and point out some little details that you may or may not have noticed. As Jinbei's navigating the ship, he announces that it's no longer someone else's affair since he's on board this ship now, and he came to follow a troublesome captain. Chopper happily tells Luffy that he loves his dream of becoming the king of pirates and jumps on top of Usopp before Frankie tells them that they can get to Laugh Tale with just one more road poneglyph. Nico tells him not to say it like it's that easy, since the last road poneglyph will be the most difficult to find, since, unlike the others, no one has found the last one all this time, and there aren't any clues at all. Chopper asks if it will be hard, but Frankie declares that they just have to find it since it's their captain's dream, and the others excitedly cheer. In the Navy headquarters, the Marines find out that Kamabaka Queendom received a call from the Flame Emperor Sabo. They decide to find it at any cost, but realize that he's put up measures to stop them from eavesdropping using a white transponder snail to jam the signals. They alarmingly realize it's an emergency call, but manage to get a lead on his whereabouts. Meanwhile, announces that some of the worst generation joined hands in the land of Wano and brought down the infamous Kaido and Big Mom, after which the new 4 Emperors of the Sea were declared, and things started to change drastically in the New World. The abolition of the 7 Warlord system led to the foundation of the Cross Guild, which is a powerful group led by 3 ex-members of the 7 Warlords of the Sea, Buggy, Crocodile, and Dracule Mihawk. Their primary goal is to achieve Sir Crocodile's previously unsuccessful Operation Utopia, functioning mainly as a military organization. Morgans, who is the president of the World Economy newspaper and one of the emperors of the underworld, gleefully explains that the Navy raided Amazon Lily, but Blackbeard came in as well to try to take Boa Hancock's power, as shown in episode 1087, and made it a 3-way struggle. On top of all that, the Revolutionary Army is a very powerful military group led by Monkey D. Dragon. It was originally known as the Freedom Fighters, and now under their current name stands as the foremost force in the world, actively opposing the world government, and aiming to take it down. The Revolutionary Army declared war on the Celestial Dragons. Their chief of staff, Sabo, assassinated King Cobra of Alabasta, and Princess Vivi disappeared. He cackles and happily wonders what's going to happen to the sea, telling the pirates to show them the entertainment that lies ahead. In the Hall of Power of Pangaea Castle, the 5 elders learn that the trace was successful, and it's from the kingdom of Lulua, which is one of the countries where the simultaneous 8-nation revolution took place after the Reverie. After returning home from the Reverie, its ruler King Seki and Prince Komain were captured by rebels, and are still being held under house arrest at the castle. On top of this, there was also information that a Revolution Army officer arrived in the kingdom a few days before the Reverie, so it seems to be the perfect place for Sabo to hide in. The 5 elders remark that this is his destiny, as Sabo calls Dragon and the others at the Kamabaka Queendom and tells them that the news had been leaked about him is fake, because he's not King Cobra's assassin. The others joyously realize they were right in believing in him, but Sabo worryingly adds that he saw something unbelievable at Marijoa. In Lulua, dark clouds suddenly cover the sky, and the civilians realize there's some kind of giant object in the sky as King Seki tells them that they'll regret doing this, and will all be impaled once the Navy headquarters hear about this. He vows to make them pay for this, so the person on guard says this wouldn't have happened if he just cared about his kingdom a little, and they wouldn't have revolted. Seki angrily questions why a king would think of some lowly citizens and tells them to know their place. The man requests him to admit his guilt since they don't want to kill him, but he just tells him to shut up and get him out of here. As Sabo hurriedly tells the others about the Pangaea Castle where the Reverie took place, the 5 elders order the Marines tracing his call to stop, and says they didn't trace anything as Lulua gets crossed off the map. And an elder says there was no such country as Lulua in the first place, as it starts getting destroyed by gigantic beams that completely obliterate the kingdom. A few days later, the Hail Mary is wildly being navigated through a snowstorm, and Jinbei seriously controls the ship as Frank tells them to brace themselves for another large wave. As they're going, a gigantic Neptunian suddenly rises out of the water, but it gets blown away by the storm before Sanji notices Zoro nonchalantly sitting on the deck and asks him if he isn't cold. Zoro says it's all a matter of perception, and they start arguing before Nami tells them to break it up and asks Jinbei to look out for some icebergs. He alarmingly tells the others to furl the sail since the winds are too strong, so Frankie, Zoro, and Sanji quickly get to work as Jinbei asks Nami if they've reached an island yet, so she says they should be in the climate range of one. As Nico's reading a book, Chopper tells her that they're all having a hard time, so he's gonna go help since snow won't be a problem for him with the woven hat Otama gave him. Meanwhile, as Luffy is sitting on the stern of the ship, he suddenly calls Nami and shows her a gigantic warm eddy, which is a mass of warm water that was heated up and must have been forced upwards. Frankie alarmingly says it doesn't look good, and Nami tells Jinbei to get them away or they'll be swept away by it. But Luffy realizes there's someone in the water and tells them to wait. Shocked, Nami thinks it's a mermaid, and Sanji tells them that he definitely heard a lady screaming. Usopp questions what they can do even if it is someone, so Zoro coldly suggests that they can just cut it and steps forward, but Sanji warns him that if he scratches the lady even a little, he'll fillet him. Zoro uses his popular move, Bird Dance, from his one-sword style and swiftly cuts through the warm eddy, shocking Usopp and Brook. Chopper comes outside and asks what the fuss is all about, telling them not to worry because Woven Hat Choppermon is here to save the day, but he suddenly gets swept away by the fierce wind, seeing which Usopp alarmingly asks him what he came out for. So Luffy catches Chopper with his gum-gum skills, but he gets swept away as well, and Nico comes out before a child whose name is revealed to be Glutton Jewelry Bonney flies out of the eddy. Bonney is also known as the Big Eater, and is a pirate originating from the South Blue. She leads the Bonney Pirates and is among the 12 pirates that are given the title of the Worst Generation. Luffy quickly catches her as well, and they start wildly thrashing in the wind while the other crew members notice that she's yelling something. She points to the sea and tells them to look down, and Usopp suddenly notices something in the depths of the sea. He quickly tries to flee and tell the others to run away, but as the others are still reacting, a gigantic monster that is about to eat their ship is revealed, only for the episode to end at that moment. In the final information segment that is named Tell Me Robin, Chopper's I Want to Learn More, You Fool, Chopper introduces himself as the ship's doctor for the Straw Hats, and Robin introduces herself as an archaeologist. He asks what they're doing today, so she remarks that the world affairs are in shambles, so she wanted to review a variety of information with everyone. Firstly, she introduces Sabo, who was born on March 20th and has ramen as his favorite food. Sabo is Luffy's brother, but not by blood, and is from a noble family of the Goa Kingdom, but he ran away looking to be free and met Luffy and Ace. Ace tells Luffy and Sabo that wherever they are, whatever they do, they will always be bonded together and will be brothers from now on, before toasting. Nico adds that Sabo was thought to be dead, but he reunited with Luffy again in Dressrosa and became the number 2 of the Revolutionary Army, the Chief of Staff. He also ate the Flame Fruit, the Logia-type devil fruit, which allows its user to transform into fire, and took over his brother, Ace's fruit, after Ace was killed by Akainu, who punched him in the stomach with his magma abilities, resulting in a gaping hole around Ace's torso, after which Ace slowly fell to the ground. His death takes place in episode 483 of the anime, and chapter 574 of the manga, during the Marineford arc. Well, that's it for episode 1089 of One Piece. How do you think Luffy and his crew will deal with a gigantic shark that threatens to eat them? Comment your thoughts below and let us know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time.